What's up, y'all? In this video, I'm going to break down how a simple podcast funnel can get you 10K a month super easy and have your calendar stacked up and ready to go, right? Simple podcast funnel. Dreams don't work unless you do. If you don't know who I am, my name is Brendan Boyd, and I teach podcasters how to monetize without brand deals, sponsorships, or having a large audience. Everyone just assumes you need a big audience, you need a lot of downloads, you need a lot of streams. But I've been able to make 6 figures and close to 7 figures with my podcast without a large audience. So the videos that I make is here to educate you and share strategies that I use in real time to help you make more money with your podcast and just grow your business around your podcast. All right. This is a simple podcast funnel. All right. So the first thing you have to understand is that podcasts are way more valuable than just surface level. What does that mean? That means they're way more valuable than just doing an interview, having somebody come on, posting it, and that's it. And that's what most people do. They don't think a little bit deeper. They don't dig deeper, and they don't really leverage the opportunity. All right. So here's a little simple flow. So this is you right here. This is the host. Now, imagine you have a product or service that you want to sell. So let's say you're in insurance, financial services, and you desire to have more clients to serve in financial services, more families to protect, more wealth generation to create, more people to enlighten and all of that stuff. So what you could do is you can create a podcast funnel, right? You create a podcast that is dedicated to highlighting some of your ideal clients. So this is how it works. So you are in the insurance business, right? You have a podcast and it can be virtual. If you do a virtual, it speeds things up even faster. Okay. So this is you're the host of the show. Let's call it the financial services show or something, right? And what you're going to do is you're not just going to go for the most popular guests. You're not going to do that. What you want to do is, what I would like you to do is start marketing the show to ideal clients, people that may fit the criteria of the type of person that you would like to work with. Those are the guests for your show. What you also need to understand is if you invite people on a podcast, they're going to say yes. It's not like, hey, can I sit down and, can I get you on a sales call? Hey, can I schedule an appointment for you to talk to you about insurance Wednesday? People don't want to hear that. They're going to say no. You're going to get a lot of resistance. You're going to be met with a lot of resistance. However, if you say, hey, listen, I got a podcast. I would love to interview you. My podcast is about, wealth generation and stuff like that. And I would love to have a conversation with you on it. And, we're going to share your story and stuff like that. They're going to say yes 9 times out of 10. And in some cases, 10 times out of 10. So you want to make sure that you are marketing or specifically inviting your ideal prospect, your ideal client on the podcast. Okay. So let's say you did that. So you got the show. You invite your ideal prospect on. Do you guys actually have the podcast? It's a real podcast. You actually have the podcast. Now on a podcast, make it like 30 minutes. Highlight the guests, what they got going on. If they got product, services, their story, family, whatever they have going on, whatever might be going on in politics or in the world or pop culture, you can touch on that stuff too. But then you also want to make sure you have 2 or 3 certain questions that will basically frame in your mind if this person could be a potential real client for you. Ask them 2 or 3 questions. Like you could just plug those right into the interview. The cool thing about this is this interview could be live, meaning you could stream it live. This interview can also be something that you pre-record and then put it out, but it's content. It's actually real content. So you can reuse it. You can get clips from it. It's actual content, right? So it's a real show. So the thing about the podcast is when you spend time with someone, you're going to develop that know, like, trust. So 30 minutes with a stranger in a podcast setting, you guys are pretty much best friends by the end of that. So when a podcast is over and you gathered all this data from the guest, from the client, from the potential client, you already know in your mind if you could help this person, if they may be a good fit, if they actually want to hear more from you. So when a podcast is over, we do a little transition, right? So we're going to transition from the podcast to one of the 3. So you can say, hey, Brendan, I had so much fun on the podcast. I learned so much about you. I hope you had a good time. And, just based on some of the things that I learned from you, I think I can actually give you some more value. I would love to, let you know more about how I can provide more value or how I can be of some service. And then at that point, you can, the guest will be like, yeah, man, what you got going on? So these are your options. Your options would be either if the prospect has time after the podcast is over, explain more about your products and services. They, like I said, the know, like, trust will be up there. They'll be a little bit more warm. You can close them right away while you're finishing the podcast. If they are short on time and they really like what you have going on, you could schedule or book a call So schedule another time that you can connect with them. And then when you have the scheduled time, you're going to let them know what else you have going on and how you can help them. So you can close them on that call, or you can downsell them to one of your lower offers. And at the very worst, if they aren't a good fit and they don't want to schedule, you just simply ask them for referrals. But the thing about this that is so awesome is that you actually have the content. So if you then run commercials, or if you're using the content for your marketing, you could cut it into clips. You could promote the show. You can then take, a commercial that you have and put it in the mid roll or end roll. So that commercial can then also, run during the podcast. You can give the content to the guests so they can, actually run it as well. You can actually sell the content to the guests if you want. So that's another way you can do it. And one of my favorite things about this too is you can run this podcast live virtually, and then you can invite people to watch in real time. There's just so much that you can do. Now, what does this look like on a front end to make this happen? So if you want to do this seamlessly, obviously you would just invite people, text message, email, do it manually, stuff like that. But we like to do things a little bit seamlessly. So we kind of built a flow. So this is what it looks like on the front end. So on the front end, what I did was, this is a form that I send my clients to just fill out. So it kind of gives them an idea of what's going on with the show. I'll play this little video for you. And it says, the Imperfect Action Show is sponsored by the Potter Agency, which is one of my companies, where we help 6 and 7-figure earners build their brand awareness, digital footprint with podcast guesting. So it's already kind of pre-framing them. And I'm framing one of my companies as a sponsor for this free show, right? And then they can watch this video. All right, so this little video kind of gives them a little bit more context to what they're getting into. And it's framed as a free interview, because that's exactly what it is, right? So they fill out this form, and this form basically gives them the pre-frame. Are you interested in getting on a podcast? So this question could be framed as a question to see if they're interested in whatever your products and services are. Are you interested in this category? Are you interested in learning more about, financial services, insurance, stuff like that? Name, number, email, so you get the data. Instagram, name of the business is optional. If they got a website, that's optional. What their business does, so you have a little bit more context. Their monthly revenue, which is important for us. Then, are they actively creating content and posting? That's just more information that we want to know. So you will put whatever questions you guys want to know. Are you interested in long and short form editing services? Again, this is for another one of our products. And then we're talking about imperfect action. It's about deciding to take committed action, stuff like that. With that said, would it be a benefit to you? Again, we're just pre-framing. We asking questions to see if it'd be a good fit for what we got going on. And we have a little bit more context. And then right here, I ask everyone to do a selfie video because that can promote their episodes. And then right here, we're asking for referrals. Now, something that we're testing out, which you guys can do too, we have our upgrade to our exclusive VIP content bundle. And this is what I mentioned earlier when I was like, you can actually sell the content, right? So we throw in the merch. So there's a hat, t-shirt combination here, and you actually get access to the recording and the clips for $250, which is pretty awesome. So if people purchase this, which is completely optional, basically they paid you for the interview, for the content, and then you're going to upsell them on the actual offer, but you have some money coming in the front. It's really amazing. So this is really how it is set up. On the back end, it's really simple to put in. We use lead attraction system, which is powered by Go High Level. And, we have the automation. So as soon as they fill out this information, they get an automatic email, automatic text. They get reminders and everything like that. And all they got to do is show up. The link's going to be in their calendar. They show up on a day, click the link when we're right inside of the podcast. And then we use a platform called Riverside. So let me break this down again. We're going to go back over here. If you do, let's say you did 20 interviews. Let's say you did 20 interviews and you have a 50% conversion rate, meaning you did 20 interviews. You asked 20 people, come tell you, they're all going to say yes. You asked 20 people to come on a podcast. They all said yes. Now, out of the 20, let's say you have a $1,000 offer, and then 50% of those people took that $1,000 offer. Guess what? That's $10K. And you can literally do 20 interviews in a week or in 2 weeks, right? Because if you're doing virtual, you could use interviews in like 30 minutes. You could just bang them out. And then in another video, I'm going to show you how you can really, really like expedite this. But I want to save it for another video. I don't want to give you so much in this video. Execute this. If you would like the snapshot of how we have this set up in lead attraction system, which means if you have like a Go High Level or something or a white label version of that, I'll give you this backend framework. You can just plug it in. If you want that, leave podcast funnel in the comments and we can get it over to you. And if you would like us to help you, if you want my team to help you build this out, help you get more clients, help you close more sales. If you got a product or service and you want to learn how to get that in front of more people so you can close more deals, definitely click the link below and book a call. And my team and I will see if you're a good fit. We would love to help you get to 10K, 15K, 30K months, 40K months and more for your products and services. So looking forward to hearing from you if you guys would like some help. And 100%, what I would really, really like to say to you is use this strategy. Use this strategy, especially if you're someone that don't really have a budget, you want to get leads, you want to convert more sales calls without having to be a sales call. This podcast funnel is it, okay? Use this, man. Cannot wait to see you guys on another video. Share this out with a couple of people. Talk to you later. Peace.
All right, y'all. Look, I had to interrupt the podcast episode to break down this exciting community that you need to join. Why? Because your podcast, you haven't figured out how to monetize. Maybe you're someone that used to be like me, where I didn't really have anyone that can hold me accountable, nor did I have a group that I felt comfortable about. You know what? This is my tribe. I can grow. Well, listen, we put that together. The Action Takers community, I'm teaching you guys monetization secrets, accountability, discipline, how you get better with content. And this is just a group that you want to grow with. Click the link below. Join. You get 7 days free. Let's go.